getting the mass properties bounding box for your models out of Creo is actually kind of an important thing if you're going to be doing any kind of cost estimation based on, let's say, extruded products or maybe sheet metal, flat patterns, or whatever. So there's lots of reasons to do it, or maybe just interested in what the packaging volume is of something, or what the relative dimensions are. To do that, you can actually use the PBOX. There is a table model get bounding box, and what this is going to do is it can look at the active model, or it can grab from whatever's in session, or it can actually use a table as an input, and then you can specify whether or not you want those values scaled or not. So if you're able to detect in a previous step, for example, that the model's units are let's say in inches, you need to convert it into millimeters, you can actually apply a scaling factor here to make that happen, or you could do it afterwards using Power Query. So this needs a table to write to, so we're going to actually just create a table using NitroCell, and we're going to call this box vals, and we're going to write that to wow tab, and then we'll just put our bbox vals here as our target. And I'm just going to do the current model, the default model as it is right now. So you'll notice here that it's written out the speaker assembly, the length, width, and the depth of it, and also the current scale factor. So if we came in and put in a scale factor of like 10, and then took a look at this, so you can see we're at 128, 77, and 53. We should get out numbers that are 10 times that size, which we do. Okay, so that's great. So let's go ahead and default that back to what it was. Now let's say that we wanted a report of all the PRT files that are in session. So you'll notice that it cleared that table out and has written out a report of every model that matches the .prt and each of the values specific to those two. So that's pretty handy. Let's also go in and add in another table. So I'm going to do an insert here, and I'm going to say item name. And let's say that I'm just interested in basket, basket.prt, screen.prt, spider.prt, and maybe front. Oh, let's do the assembly. So let's speaker.asm. So I'm gonna highlight this range of values. I'm gonna do Control T. Say my table has headers, and then I'm gonna come in and just give it a name that I can easily reference. We'll call this my table. And this table that's over here, we're going to use that to report basically the contents of whatever this runs off this one. So we're going to say table. My table is the input that I'm going to be referencing. My bbox values is going to be what I'm going to be writing to, and when I run this, you'll notice that we did get an error. It says there's no files that match a particular pattern screen because I misspelled screen. So let's take off the screen here and we run this again, or the extra E. You'll notice that in fact we've got here's our input list and then here's our output list and the values for those specific models that are there. So you can actually use this as an external source. So if you had, for example, a CSV file that you wanted to import, using the Excel data import tools, or if you wanted to use a Power Query to kind of derive what you needed to run the query on to get that information, you could do all that very easily and just feed this function with that.